Hey, it's Wyatt here. Before we talk about must-haves and listing prices, I want to actually talk to you about the consumer notice. In Pennsylvania, we have this consumer notice, and the law requires me to give this to you at our initial interview. Just a fancy way of saying the first time we talk about real estate needs. But I've learned that trust isn't built by quickly sharing this and then skipping the fine print. It's built by actually explaining it. So my goal with this video is to make sure that you're empowered and protected before you ever sign a contract with me. So what we're looking at is this consumer notice. It's on my screen, and you'll see at the top, big bold letters, this is not a contract. This is an effort to enable you to make an informed decision about who you're working with in real estate. So let's dive into what this actually means for you. The first section actually covers agency relationship. Think of this as like the sports teams. Which team am I playing on? So first we have the seller's agent. If I'm a seller's agent, then my broker and I work exclusively for you, the landlord or seller. My job in that case is to act in your best interest and to make a good faith effort to find a buyer or a tenant. I have to keep your information confidential, but I also must reveal any known material defects about the property to anybody involved. Next we have the buyer's agent. In this case, I actually work with you as a buyer or a tenant. I work exclusively for you, even if the seller is the one who ends up paying the commission. I'm on your team. I'm out there hunting for properties for you. I'm keeping your financial goals private. Next, we have dual agency. This is a little bit more technical. This is actually when a licensee works for both the seller and the buyer. I can't take any action that hurts either party, so I essentially become a referee. I actually need your written consent before I can ever do this, by the way, and you also have the right to refuse this type of representation. Next we have designated agency. Sometimes the broker will act as the dual agent, and we'll pick one agent to work for the seller and a separate agent to work for the buyer. In this case, your specific agent is dedicated to your side of the transaction, and the dual agency is just with the broker. Then there's a transaction licensee. Think of this person as a neutral facilitator. They provide general real estate services like doc prep, communication between the parties, but they do not have an agency relationship with you at all. They're not an advocate, and they don't have a duty of full loyalty or confidentiality. However, they are legally obligated from leaking your bottom line, so they can't tell a seller you'll pay more, and they can't tell a buyer, hey, the seller's going to take less for that. They're not on your team, so they become basically a referee as well, ensuring that the paperwork follows all the rules. Next, we have things that, even if we haven't officially teamed up yet with a signed agreement, the law says that all licensees owe you certain things. We owe this to all customers, even before you become a client. And what they are is I have to use professional skill and care. I have to deal honestly and in good faith. I have to present offers and communications as soon as possible. And I have to account for your deposit money, and I must disclose any conflicts of interest in the transaction. Okay, so now let's look at this bold section right above the acknowledgement. And it says, unless you select a business relationship by signing a written agreement, not this agreement, but a written buyer's agreement or listing agreement, the licensee is not representing you. A business relationship is not presumed. So here's an example. If we're discussing real estate and let's say you haven't signed a buyer's agreement with me yet, but you tell me your absolute max budget. If I'm representing the seller, I might legally have to also tell them that. So until we make it official, keep your cards close to your vest. Okay, I think that's it. I know that's a lot to take in. Real estate can feel like a maze sometimes, but you don't have to walk it alone. I'm here to provide that high trust guidance that you deserve. Looking forward to helping you buy or sell your home. Goodbye.